Rosh Hashanah is finally here. The apples are ready, the honey smells sweet, and you just remember growing up as a child, enjoying the simanim, and each of you have a different minhag or custom that you and your family is used to. Now, while you do want to preserve these customs, God has blessed you with a pekala, something else, a neurodivergent child. And you know what? That may create a whole different experience, a whole different atmosphere. Here are 4 tips that I'm going to give you that will make you and your family's Rosh Hashanah the most amazing Rosh Hashanah ever. Before we continue, I am the Queen of Down Syndrome sister, and I have helped raise her for the past 19 years. So what I am sharing with you today is experiences based over the past 19 years in hopes that you guys will have the best Rosh Hashanah ever. The first step is when it comes to food, make the food you would normally make as if you didn't have a neurodivergent child. Make the roasts, make the chickens, experiment with new dishes and new flavors. Do what you want because in your mind, you have a vision of what Rosh Hashanah should be like, and that doesn't mean the rest of your family has to live without it. But that doesn't mean you have to trigger your neurodivergent child. Now, Rosh Hashanah is a time of making memories, of welcoming the new year. And so here are a few tips to help your neurodivergent child specifically by the meal. And that could look like, the first thing we do is we spread honey on our challah. Now, for a neurodivergent child, some of them, this is new, this is different. Maybe they just don't like the change. Maybe they don't like honey. Maybe they're used to challah and salt. So ask your child before, maybe give them a lick of honey before Rosh Hashanah. And this way, when it's time to give out the challah and the honey at the table, make sure they have their own specific piece of, challah with salt or challah without salt. Whatever they're used to on a typical Shabbos, make sure you have it. Better yet, whether you're at home or whether you're going away, maybe you just want to save the whole headache and give them their special role. Now is not the time for teaching. Now is the time for making memories. And I want to share with you a story that really stood out to me in terms of the challah and the honey. Now, my parents always had a lot of guests around holidays and around Shabbos time, and we had one child who brought over a child with autism. To us, it didn't matter. My mother made a traditional Shabbos meal. Everybody was happy. But what stood out to me was the whole time the father screaming, "Come on, try a bite of food. Try this, try that." And I'm sitting there thinking, what if we have a container stored? And yes, even if you're going away, this year Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos. Not everyone has an Erev. Not everyone can carry on Shabbos. So take a portion of food, bring it before Shabbos, and make sure there is something safe for your neurodivergent child. Now, yes, if you're at home, it's so much easier because you just keep it in the fridge and give it out to them, or pre-freeze like 5 or 10 meals so they have something. The rest of the family doesn't have to suffer. Build memories, and by giving your child the safe food just on Rosh Hashanah, they'll be calmer, they'll be more relaxed, and your Rosh Hashanah will transform. Next, think about the Rosh Hashanah traditions. There are so many. Like I mentioned, we have the apple in the honey, we have the challah in the honey, we have the simanim, and I bet some of your families have different traditions. Well, let me know below, because one year somebody told us about raisin celery. Raisin celery? So now we have that at our table. So anyway, back to the post. You guys have traditions, and your neurodivergent child may struggle with change. I know specifically for the Queen of Down Syndrome, when she was younger, change was really difficult and it led to huge emotions, and now she's so much better. But something simple could be like when we have all of these new foods, all of these new simanim, it could just be put it on your plate and look at it and be happy. And it may be keep an empty plate, or it may be lick it. Go through it before. You know your child, you know where they're holding. Set the expectation before Rosh Hashanah. And like I said, it could be simple as, can you pass the plate around? Don't touch anything, but just be part of the moment. And yes, it may look different for you, and it may not be what you envision, but the fact that the child is present, the fact that they're in a state of calm, the fact they know what to expect will make their own memories and will allow you to make memories with the rest of the kids. If you have a child who for whatever reason refuses to eat, whether it is they can't eat, they won't eat, or they don't want to eat, tip on that, rather than going hangry, feed them a little bit before. But whatever the case is, they're at the table, they're not eating, totally cool, right? What are you going to do? Because all they want to do is bounce off the walls, throw the food, do whatever they want because they're not participating. But instead of just allowing them and keep redirecting, and it's such a frustrating ordeal, why don't you prepare a separate bag? It could be, or maybe two. It could be one bag of things that they love from home that of course are not muktzah. So for us, it would be like Playmobil 1, 2, 3. It would be, I have a little Shabbos set of food toys. And then prepare another bag of special things or new toys. Don't let them open it on Rosh Hashanah. Don't let them see like, oh my gosh, this is new for Rosh Hashanah. Because you don't want to per se make your other kids like jealous. But let them know, they'll figure it out right away. It's not a big deal. And say, hey, do you want to play with bag A or bag B now? Maybe it's in your own home, and in our home we have the play area off to the side. Say, hey, can I set you up with a toy and you'll play off to the side? This way they're present as they can be, but at the end of the day, they're not making a ruckus, they're not running around, they're participating in their way, and at the same time, the rest of your family is building memories with you and everybody's happy. Unpopular opinion here, but for this last tip number 4, if you can, and in our state we can, arrange a caregiver for your child. Now, the Queen of Down syndrome is fully independent. She's going to be part of the ceremonies, the traditions as much as possible. Princess P won't. So I am going to, for one of the days, I believe, have a caregiver, and for the other day, I won't. And here's the thing. I am going to do step 1, 2, and 3. So my child stays as present as possible as long as she can. Now note, she's 3. You let me know if your non-neurodivergent 3-year-old can sit through all of the ceremonies, traditions, and whatever. Most likely not. But anyway, arrange a caregiver, put the caregiver off to the side, and let your child know it is their choice. They could sit, they could be present, they could enjoy the traditions, or, especially for some who struggle with routine changes, they can go off to the side, go off to wherever your caregiver is, and they can resume their normal day-to-day routine. Now, why is this an unpopular opinion? Because you want your children present, but at the same time, understand you have neurotypical children as well, and they need your time and attention. And maybe the Rosh Hashanah meal isn't the time to start like, but he needs, but he doesn't, and they just create a whole lot of chaos. It is okay. Remember, you're opening the door for your neurodivergent child, but you're also allowing them a space to go and be, and you are building memories with the rest of your family, your husband, your kids, and that's, in my opinion, what I think Rosh Hashanah is all about. What I want you to remember is that Rosh Hashanah is about making a new life or a new year for yourself. It is about creating memories. It is about each tradition has its own, kedusha, its own holiness attached to it. And while you're going to do your best to include your neurodivergent child, sometimes either A, your neurodivergent child doesn't want to be included, or B, maybe they're not ready. Like I said, Princess P is only 3, and sometimes she cries, and sometimes she tantrums. And you know what? That's okay. When we're going for this holiday, we're going to have the main table, and there's a space off to the side for her to play. She's going to be included from the very beginning. We're going to, every time there's something else, I'm going to go over to her, hey, do you want to come? Do you want to join? And most likely she's going to come for some of it, and for some of it she's not going to. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, there's the Queen of Down syndrome and the rest of my family, and they all need that same attention as Princess P. It doesn't mean I don't love her. It just means that Rosh Hashanah for our family is going to look a little different this year, and everybody will be happy on their own level. If you have a neurodivergent kid, a minhag, or something that you do differently, please let me know below, because like I said, I'm always looking to enhance our Rosh Hashanah, and we can all learn from each other. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and let me know how you are going to make your Rosh Hashanah a special one. Chag Sameach.